I am here with Chris Crypto, and we just destroyed the gym.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take him aside to ask Chris, when does he think the bull market will start? Because I showed you on the video earlier today that Bitcoin is about to break from a huge cup and handle pattern that you've been showing more than anyone. So when do you think that's going to happen? Can you enlighten the crypto kids?
Sure. I mean, the cup and handle is basically a weekly or even a monthly pattern, right? That's the higher time frames. I want to keep it very exciting. Start with the smaller time frames because there's one pattern where you are looking at and I'm looking at.
Yes.
You're looking at that potential pattern actually for quite some time, and that's a pattern on the daily candles, the W pattern, which at the time of recording, we are kissing resistance. 64,500 is the point of interest. And I do believe if we break this pattern on the daily with volume support close above, that will be the moment where we are actually starting the first strong move towards the upside. The price target, the conservative price target is 77,000. And now I want to come to your question. If we break the W pattern, we reach that price target, you can basically start zooming out, because if we reach the target on the daily pattern, we will break the resistance on the weekly and monthly pattern, that cup and handle pattern you were talking about, where we have the resistance between 69, 72,000 US dollars, this long horizontal resistance. And that's the real thing. The moment we break 72,000 on a weekly candle, I think that's the beginning of the end of the bull market. The last phase will start, the last parabolic phase, and I think that's gonna be the most exciting time we have seen since 2021.
I completely agree. I think that there's 3 points that I'm planning on going full long into Bitcoin. That is the break of the neckline of the double bottom, which is 64.5. The second point is when we break $69,000, and when we break the prior all-time high, I'm going to be 100% long into Bitcoin, because I think with the point of this cycle, we are at a point of accumulation, and in 20 days time, we're gonna go into a massive bull market, and this goes into the next question. So during this huge super cycle, potentially, I don't know if you think it will be the super cycle, but how can someone make the most money possible in the 2024-2025 bull market?
So I would say yes, 2024, 2025. I personally think this bull market will probably end somewhere towards March, April 2025. You might disagree, but we are going up for almost 2 years already. So this bull market is lasting almost 2 years. November 2022 was the bear market bottom. A bull market doesn't last like 4 years or something. Usually lasts 2.5, 3 years. So I think round about the time of March, April, this bull market is gonna be finished. That means time-wise, we have made the most already. But price-wise, there is so much to go. And I think if you wanna make the most money, maybe, then start gambling. But most likely you're gonna lose money, right? But potentially you're gonna make a lot. I personally think Bitcoin has the best risk-return ratio. So if you just focus on Bitcoin, for sure, like you're probably not gonna do like a 20x until like the next 6 months or something.
Yeah, when I'm 50
But
years old, then probably.
you're not gonna lose money, most likely, or you're not gonna lose a lot, and that is much more important. What I want people to understand is, if you expand your time horizon a little bit beyond the next few months, the next few weeks, basically to like 5-10 years, then the best case scenario, which I don't find to be all too unrealistic, is Bitcoin becoming a world reserve currency. We see so many things pointing towards that already. It might take 5, 10, 15 years for that to happen. But if Bitcoin reaches this target of 100 trillion US dollars, we are talking about a 5, 6, 7, maximum 10 million US dollars per Bitcoin in today's purchasing power. So what we are talking about is a 100x. Bitcoin is your meme coin. Bitcoin is your small cap altcoin. You have limited risk and a potential 100x towards the upside if your time horizon is just long enough. So if you ask me how to make the most money within the next 6 months, well, let me tell you this, if you want to make the most money within the next 10, 15 years, almost consistently on a year-to-year basis, Bitcoin is the answer. If you want to make $10,000 per $100 invested, potentially, of course you can lose money. Maybe Bitcoin is not gonna succeed, but most likely it will. Then Bitcoin is the answer. And I really hope that people understand that, because I've been telling people for 7 years, and I have, especially this and last year, more and more people coming to me, oh Chris, if I just listened to you, Bitcoin was so boring, but man, if
It's
I
gonna
just
be the
bought
same
Bitcoin,
thing
I would have
again.
more money.
Dude, it's gonna be the same thing. Like I do live shows and I'm asking my audience, like, how many of you actually hold Bitcoin? And dude, you know, like 70% don't own Bitcoin. So the biggest mistake that you will make in this bull market is not having Bitcoin, because like Chris said, Bitcoin is gonna become the money. And when that happens, you want to have as much of it as possible. It's not too expensive. Buy as much as you can and hold it for as long as you can. And when you're retired, you're gonna be very, very rich. So last question, Chris, do you think, apart from Bitcoin, Ethereum or any other altcoin is a good choice of investment?
Yes, it always depends, of course, on your desired risk, right? But for me, more importantly, there is the risk-return ratio. So not only the risk you are putting into an investment, but also the potential return. The potential return on Ethereum is very, very high as well.
Especially
And
now.
Especially now. Let's go this way.
Okay.
The risk on Ethereum is higher than on Bitcoin, but way more limited than on most other altcoins. So personally, I see Ethereum having the second best risk-return ratio. That's why it has this is the second biggest position in my portfolio. I'm holding BNB as well, for example. And of course, that has a centralized nature, so there is more risk to it, but I like the centralized construction which is behind BNB, and that is I don't even know if that might be my third biggest position.
Oh, wow.
But it's third biggest sounds big, but it's significantly smaller than Ethereum.
Of course.
And Ethereum is significantly
smaller
smaller
than
than
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yes, correct.
So it's way, way smaller. So you have to put everything into relation. And many people who have like a smaller portfolio, like in relative terms,
Let's say
speaking,
somebody has $10,000. What is the best thing to do?
even some people watching this, maybe you just have $100.
Yes.
But if you have $100, you put it into a meme coin, most likely it's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, I can't afford a full Bitcoin. If I have $100, you can afford 0.002
Or
Bitcoin,
you can
right?
afford
Like
a few Satoshis.
that is the thing. You have to switch the mindset.
Correct.
So for $100, you can basically buy like, I don't know, 20 million Satoshis. No, 2 million
The 2 million
Satoshis.
Satoshis.
2 million Satoshis. $100 can grow to $10,000 if you just wait long enough. And you can accumulate just $1,000 over the next 1-2 years. Beautiful. Like potentially you can have $100,000-$200,000 in today's money if you're just strong, holding your Bitcoin, not getting shaken out, and your time horizon is long enough.
Especially in hyperinflationary countries, because for example in Turkey, my home country, people are saving themselves from a devaluing currency, which is the Turkish lira, by buying Bitcoin, because to convert your lira into dollars, the forex difference is a lot. So by buying Bitcoin, people are protecting their wealth, and eventually I think the de-dollarization is going to happen, and that's when Bitcoin, against the value of the US dollar, right, because one Bitcoin is always one Bitcoin, then it's going to go crazy.
Bitcoin has reached an all-time high in Turkey ages ago, right?
Ages ago.
Ages ago. Like, this same thing is happening to other second world countries, then first world countries, and the last man standing is gonna be the US dollar, but it's not gonna be standing forever.
Correct.
And when this happens, you wanna be exposed to Bitcoin, and this is what I'm trying to like kind of preach to everyone since a long time. In the end of the day, you wanna limit your losses, you wanna make sure you're not losing money. If you lose 50%, you have to make 100% to get it back.
Yes.
If you focus on that, if you put your focus on not losing money and then on making money, then the only answer can be Bitcoin, at least with the majority of your portfolio. Then, if you want to do trading, if you want to buy some altcoins or something, fine. But just don't do it with all of your money.
So
yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
The final message, which I'll end off this video, is that you need to think of money as not just one form, right? You have different currencies, different forms of money, and your goal should be to have the money that is the most, that is going to be the one that protects its value the most, and I think that will be Bitcoin. So, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the channel. Making this video was the biggest workout compared to the gym with the arm, but just buy as much Bitcoin as possible, and make sure to stay up to date with this channel. Subscribe to Chris, subscribe to the Crypto Kids channel to become a Crypto Kid. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all on the next video very soon. Take care, guys, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.